With school ending soon and Memorial Day just around the corner, many of you are likely getting ready for a summer vacation. And joining me now to talk through some of the tips for staying both safe and healthy during summer travel, Dr. Jonathan Baktari, CEO of E7 Health. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jackie.
Okay, let's start with what your company is all about. Tell me just what E7 is all about.
Yeah, so we do a variety of preventive health and wellness services. One of them is travel medicine. Most people aren't aware that travel medicine is actually a specialty, and often they rely on maybe even primary care doctors to give them that advice, but often they're not trained to do that, just like a trained cardiologist. So we are Southern Nevada's really main travel medicine clinic, and we provide services for the entire region.
So if a family is planning to head out of the country this
Right.
summer for a big vacation international trip, what should they expect to do before they leave on this trip to make sure that they stay healthy and safe?
Yeah, well, first of all, you need a lot of notice. You come see us 2 to 3 months prior to departure. That's what the CDC recommends. And then we will go over specifically where you're traveling, what countries, what cities, what you're going to be doing, what kind of hotel you're going to be staying. And then we're going to tell you what the Center for Disease Control recommends in terms of vaccines, prescriptions, and we're going to counsel you on food, water safety, insect precautions.
Are there certain, places, I guess, where you shouldn't drink the water, things of that nature? Any place in America that is the case too?
I think with traveling in the United States, there are different issues. I think, for example, getting vaccinated with your routine vaccines before you travel, and the number one cause of death in people traveling is still trauma. If it's not some illness, it's trauma, and that's because people wind up doing things that they normally don't do. Like you don't normally say, "Hey, let's go jet skiing or hang gliding," but people that get very adventurous. And that's really an issue. So prepare them to understand if they're going to be trying new things, take caution, do it the right way, get instructions. And then lastly is just good hygiene, because when you're around crowds, that's when things are transmitted. So hand washing and not touching your face a lot is a big key in staying healthy when you're traveling. So trauma and just hygiene.
So if somebody is planning to do something sort of adventurous while they're on a vacation, what are some ways that they can discern whether this is a safe adventure, something they should be doing, or maybe something that they should pass up?
Yeah, well, first of all, you got to decide if you're in good shape for given what you're going to be doing, right? So if you've pretty much are a couch potato all week and then you want to go hang gliding, they may not jive up. So first of all, just look at the adventure you're going to be doing and say, back in Las Vegas, was I going to the gym at least somewhat, and can I handle that? So you just have to, and then of course get proper instructions and don't take unnecessary risks, but really size up. Does this new adventure jive with where I am physically now?
That all makes sense. Any specific tips for people who are going on cruises?
Yeah, so cruises is very important to understand. The first thing you got to understand about a cruise is you may think you're on a ship, but what you're really doing is visiting foreign countries most of the time. So you should just, if you're going to Costa Rica, Mexico, or the Caribbean, really the cruise is the cruise, but you're actually visiting those countries. So again, the CDC has certain guidelines if you're visiting those countries, and including vaccines, prescriptions, and what have you. So that's number one. Assume you're just visiting those countries. And as far as the cruise goes, the viruses that go around, the GI viruses, it's going to be a lot of hygiene and getting your routine vaccines before you leave.
Dr. Baktari, you have so many incredible tips. How can people find you?
Yeah, e7health.com. And most importantly, there's tons of information on our website, but if you're going to come see us 2 to 3 months before your trip so we can adequately prepare you and your family.
Great advice. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing
everything. A pleasure.
Everything.
Thank you, Jackie.
All right, more news and weather coming up after the break.